Welcome back to MouthpieceSports.com's High School Buzz session, coming to you tonight from the Grotto at 3011 Butterfield Road in beautiful Oak Brook. Gentlemen, we talked briefly before a little bit about AAU and the effect it's had on the game. And I think it's germane to the subject to define actually what AAU is. It's the Amateur Athletic Union, and it's something I was involved with in track and field when I was about 9 years old, but now it's become a very big part of high school basketball. How do people get access to AAU? Chris, where would someone say they want to get their young man involved in AAU basketball? Where do they go?
There's well, about where we are, there's people that come to the games, and they kind of word of mouth travels, and that's how they get established through that way. And our players play so much, they know a lot of these kids that want to play AAU, so they'll recommend someone. Or it's just a lot of it is word of mouth from where we are.
Is that how it is, Coach? It's like recruiting; they'll find you if you're good.
Yeah, pretty much. Guys come to the game and they'll come by and ask about certain kids, and then that's how they get to certain programs. So basically, just word of mouth, like you said.
Well, Coach Smith and Coach Keene were both mentioning how AAU basketball, they play 100 games in the summer, John, and some of these kids get worn out, they get burned out, and perhaps the sectional game isn't as important when you know you're going to a tournament in Vegas a few weeks later. From power performance camps and the things you guys do, is there a way to combat that kind of burnout?
Absolutely, and it all starts with education. I mean, they're school kids, and keep them educated all the way along, and things that they should be learning in school and things like that they're not, such as nutrition. I think nutrition is something that's so overlooked when it comes to injury prevention and performance and all these things that these kids want to make their bodies do, and they're feeding themselves with Big Macs and Coca-Cola, and it's just not working. They need proper education on nutrition, so that's something we spend a lot of time with, in addition to proper warm-up techniques. Even things like how to do massage. I mean, we can teach a kid how to perform essentially massage on themselves, so they don't need to even go see a massage therapist. There's things that they can do for themselves that way. And a big thing is these kids need rest. And that's something that I don't think these kids are getting. We're seeing a lot of kids coming in, and I have to send many kids home a lot because they come in and they're like, my knee's a little sore, but I want to work out. I want to work out. And
I bet the parents love that when you send them home after they're paying for it.
Yeah, well, that's the thing too, is that what we do is, it's kind of like a punch card system where they're paying for the times that they come here. Okay. So I'm not too worried about if they miss a session. I'm concerned about the welfare of the kid, because if the kid's in my camp, and not even just talking about the kid, but also from a business perspective, if the kid comes in and you knew that he probably shouldn't be working out, and he goes ahead and tears an ACL or pulls a hamstring or something like that, then that's on me, and
you don't want
that's not what I want at all.
Well, Power Performance Camps is about making players better players, and certainly assisting in what these gentlemen and coaches do. But you're creating better, stronger, faster players. But one of the things that only a coach and parents can do is teach young men and young women about the ups and downs of basketball. And the reason I thought of this is because Coach Smith won back-to-back state championships, and then this year lost in the state championship game. Now, by any other measure, any coach in America would take that 3-year run. But I would think, Coach, it might be difficult to explain to those young men who hadn't had a losing moment in basically 3 years how to deal with that level of defeat.
Yeah, it was difficult. Definitely after the game, it was real difficult on the young men, because our expectation is to win every game we play.
Sure.
And that's driven in them, and they understand that, and that's what they want to do. And those young men, they felt like they let the whole South Side of Chicago down by not winning. But like I explained to them afterwards, is that nobody could have did what you guys did. To come with a whole new team,
sure.
You lose 5 starters, you come with 5 different players, nobody gave you a shot, and you right here. We missed 2 free throws. We make the free throws. We down 1 point, and now it's a different basketball game. But it's a hard thing because everybody wants to win, and they so used to winning. Those guys played for 4 years and they won 3 championships. This was the only one that they didn't win in 4 years as that group. So it's a little difficult, and they only been around winning. So that's all they know is to win. But at the end of the day, somebody has to win, somebody has to lose, and I explained to him, if we play them 2 more times, we might win the next 2 times. So that's something that you have to understand. And that day just wasn't your day. That's all it was. It just wasn't your day.
Chris, are there good losses for teams and players?
coaches, there's never good losses. It's always bad losses. But after a season, when you reflect, there's some teams that you're like, well, maybe at the beginning of the game you didn't know for sure how you'd match up, and you're in it throughout the whole game, and this coach said you missed free throw here or there, and it just comes short. So, yeah, it'd be considered that would be a good loss. It's hard to inject it onto your players. I think kids today feel so much pressure to succeed that it's okay to work as hard as you possibly can. If as long as you can get up and look at yourself in the mirror every day and say, you know what, I did the best I could. It's okay if we didn't win, or I didn't achieve the objectives that I sought out to, because I did everything possible to do that. I think kids just feel so much pressure from outside influences. Parents, I think parents put a lot of pressure because I think they try to live through their sons and daughters a little bit too much to win and succeed, and it's all it is winning, instead of being, well, you know what, you were playing for a high-profile program, you're on a team with a high-profile program. Look at the benefits of being that. Even if you're not playing a lot, I'm the 12th, 13th, 14th man. I'm getting chemistry. I'm learning how to be a leader. I'm competing. All those things you need in life outside of basketball. A lot of these kids, they're not going to play college basketball, pro basketball. They're going to go on and have careers. Well, you need to be able to compete, to get a job in a market.
Right.
You need to be able to be in a team and have a team atmosphere to be able to work with people, and you need to be a leader. And that's what sports does. And I think it gets lost in the shuffle with winning, and I think too much pressure is put on winning. So we try to incorporate that into our talks as well.
Well, if I can interrupt, that's exactly what I love about sports, is not so much the winning, but the losing aspect of it. And that's something that kids, they don't really experience enough, I don't think, especially growing up, is that they're always sheltered. Everybody's so focused on winning that, even in our little leagues and things like that, everybody gets a participation trophy and things like that, where they're winning all along. So when it comes to an actual point of defeat, they don't know how to deal with it. So I think you learn from your losses. And I think if you're able to go ahead and learn from that, and that even goes into exercise. I'm working with people all the time, teaching them one particular type of movement or whatever it may be. They don't get it. And when Coach Keenan and I were talking out, enjoying our lovely dinner from the Grotto,
Nice
talking
plug.
about,
He's good.
talking about how it's just that one moment where they work at something, and then they actually achieve
3011
that goal.
Butterfield Road.
And they just 3011 Butterfield Road, Oak Brook.
Well done, John.
And but it's just that moment for coaching and also for the kid.
Sure.
That moment when they achieve that, when they get that, they appreciate it so much more because they failed a little bit. And
John makes a valid point, but I would think also, Coach, winning breeds winning, and winning is obviously good for a program, is it not?
Oh, yeah. I mean, Simeon has been a premier program in the state of Illinois for years, and
Sure.
It kind of lost where it was at for some time, and then we got some more kids that came in and got us back, but then when we got this last group of kids before, it just took us right back out there and put us to be in a national spotlight again, which is good, and it's a lot of pressure, and not just on the kids, but also on the coaches, because you have to uphold that when you get out there. But just to implement on what he said is, one thing about in the inner city is that you have to be disciplined, because there's so much going on. It's so easy to get strayed off to the wrong direction that you have to have discipline 24/7. And I think in our program and in some other programs that they're catching on to what we're doing is that's the focal point, is being disciplined, because it's going to carry you for the rest of your life.
Sure.
And it's something that you're going to have to be doing you're going to have to be disciplined for the rest of your life. So out on the floor, you have to be disciplined at all times, and it helps. I mean, the last 2 years, we won the award for just being the best team of giving people high fives and other teams.
Sportsmanship, sure.
Yeah, and after that we lost, I mean, it was great because the captain said, we lost, let's go down here and shake these guys' hand again after they got their trophy.
Well, I know the guy you played for in high school, Coach Hambrick, and I know the way he ran his program, and winning and losing and the outside influences on high school athletes and athletes today is something we're going to delve into more when we return on MouthpieceSports.com's High School Buzz Session.